Okay, so I went on a couple of hikes, same national park, really, really large area, but two different trails from what I posted the other day, and I saw the same utter destruction of trees. And I caught these couple of Forest Service guys along the way, and so I took the liberty to interview this one guy. Stopped him, and here's what he had to say.
Beetle thing attacking the pine trees.
Yeah, but according to our everything that we found, and again, he and I don't deal with the trees and with managing the timber out here. We don't really manage the timber, but the things that we heard were that it was pine borer beetle for pine trees.
Pine borer beetle?
Yep, the pine borer beetle, which if you look at some of the pine trees, you can see holes in the bark, which is where they burrow underneath between the bark and the main tree. And then the oak trees supposedly some sort of hardwood fungus.
Hardwood fungus?
Yeah, that's all that we've heard. Yeah.
What I noticed,
Okay, and let me come over here. Purdue University. Borers of pines and other needle-bearing evergreens in landscapes. What he was saying, pine borer beetles. Pines, spruces, and firs are commonly planted in Indiana landscapes. Okay, so as a group, borers are most successful when they attack a tree that is stressed due to lack of water or that is planted under too much shade, or under stress. When a borer attacks a vigorously growing conifer like pine, the tree can physically pitch the borer out of the trunk in a flow of sap. Under full sun conditions, healthy trees have enough energy reserves to produce poisons that can kill many of the infectious diseases that can be spread by pine borers, like you said, those beetles. Trees that are planted properly in the correct location and provided water during drought are most capable of defending themselves. So did you hear that? Trees they're not just inanimate objects. They have an immune system like we do. So in other words, healthy trees are not going to probably get these pine borer beetles, which, like I said, I was at that trail and this one too. It was this trail, the pictures I'm about to show you, I was there in 2014 or 15. So I know that's before my other dog was still alive. And it was full canopy, nothing like what I'm going to show you. So borers that feed in the trunk produce a random pattern of holes. Now, that's not all I saw, because I also saw, and I asked him about that, too, in the end. I cut that part off. The tree's covered with green fungus. He's not aware of that either. They can be distinguished from those produced by feeding woodpeckers and sapsuckers, which make holes in a straight line. And it says environmental condition. When stressed by adverse environmental conditions, these trees can be attacked and killed by a variety of insects that bore into trunks and stems. Injury from borers can be reduced by helping trees protect themselves. Okay? So again, my theory is, and Dane Whittington and others are saying, yeah, it's definitely this geoengineering stuff, these chemicals are dumping out of the sky. Not to mention the sulfur dioxide they use, it causes acid rain, which makes it worse because that makes acidic soils and that makes the aluminum more absorbable. Okay? And I guess this is that pine beetle. Symptoms include holes as thick as a pencil. Although there are many bark beetles in our region, their life cycles are similar. Once beneath the bark, adults lay eggs. Okay, and then that just... Okay, like that. I mean, like I said, that's... And what's this? Pine root collar weevil injury. Okay. Okay, so that's that. And then another theory was that, you know, actually somebody told me that their grandfather did research and found that the chemicals were killing the mycelium roots under the tree. Let's just, before I show these videos, so let's look at this. This is what, you know, I'm told mycelium, and she said he was a scientist and that he said it was killing this fungus. I don't know, but I'm saying mycelium is a vegetative part of a fungus consisting of a mass of branching thread-like structures called hyphae. These hyphae, whoops, well, I had these on a, oh, I'm sorry. See, these hyphae, let's see, there's another one. See, the hyphae, that's the tree root, and these are the fungal hyphae. Mycorrhizal network. Okay, this gets really interesting. These hyphae spread out through the soil, leaf litter, wood, and other organic material and form extensive networks that can cover vast areas underground. Mycelium is the primary mode through which fungi grow and absorb nutrients. Okay, the role of mycelium in forest ecosystems. Nutrient recycling and decomposition. One of the fundamental roles of mycelium in forests is decomposition. Forests accumulate large amounts of dead plant material, fallen leaves, branches, dead trees, and mycelium acts as nature's recycler by breaking down this organic matter. Fungi are among the few organisms capable of decomposing lignin. I'd be interested to know if this wood's being broken down. I got a log that fell a few years ago and it's still sitting there. Oh, that's something else I gotta look at. That many bacteria and microorganisms cannot digest. Through enzymatic processes, mycelium transforms dead wood and plant debris into humus-rich soil. So without that, you're not going to have good soil. Releasing vital nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium back into the ecosystem. This nutrient, so that's another aspect of this. This nutrient cycling supports plant growth and maintains soil fertility. So this is another aspect. Symbiotic relationship with trees, the mycorrhizal network. One of the most remarkable aspects of mycelium networks is their symbiotic. Symbiotic means each party gets something from the other, and that's how they survive. Relationships with plants, especially trees. The symbiosis is known as mycorrhizae, from the Greek mux, meaning fungus, and rhiza, meaning root. In a mycorrhizal association, fungal hyphae colonize tree roots or envelope them closely, extending far into the soil beyond the reach of the root themselves. Through this partnership, they have nutrient exchange. The fungus enhances a tree's ability to absorb water and nutrients, such as phosphorus and nitrogen, from the soil. In return, the carbon transfer, the tree supplies the fungus with carbohydrates produced through photosynthesis. This mutualistic relationship improves tree health and resilience against environmental stresses like drought or poor soil conditions. And this is the most interesting of all. the wood wide web, communication through mycelium. So not only do trees have an immune system, they communicate with each other. Beyond nutrient exchange, recent research has revealed that mycelium networks act as communication highways among plants in a forest, a phenomenon known as the wood wide web. They have signal transmission. Trees can send chemical signals warning neighboring plants about pest or disease. Resource sharing. Carbon, water, and nutrients can be transferred between trees, like borrowing something from another tree, even between different species, allowing stronger individuals to support weaker or younger ones. And community dynamics. This interconnectiveness fosters cooperative behavior within forests rather than competition alone. Yeah, I never knew that. Even though I have a biology degree. Of course, I don't have a botany degree. Such findings challenge traditional views that plants are isolated competitors, which is what I thought, and highlight the complexity of forest ecosystems mediated by fungi. Okay, then you've got the different kinds. Okay, so here's something. Okay, and I've always thought this, just common sense wise, but now this backs it up, that you don't just. I've always said that you don't just go in and clear cut a bunch of trees down and see. Because, or, these people with yards and they've got their grass. And by the way, this grass originates from England. I mean, it's not even native to this country. I don't know why people like it. To me, it's boring to look at. But they'll have one or two decorative trees. Well, that's not good. The trees need other trees. Wait, come to think of it, I asked myself that question about a month or two ago. I said, yeah, I have a witness that heard me say it. I said, I wonder if these trees need the other trees. Here's my answer. But, yeah, so, and there's probably other reasons too, but, and I don't think we need to get into all the different kinds. Environmental importance of mycelium networks. Mycelium hyphae bind soil particles together, improving soil aggregation and porosity. This enhances water retention while allowing air circulation necessary for root respiration. Healthy soils anchored by fungal networks support robust vegetative growth. And carbon sequestration. Fungi play an important role in carbon cycling by decomposing organic matter slowly and stabilizing carbon within soils as humus. Through symbiotic relationship with trees absorbing atmospheric CO2 via photosynthesis, mycelium indirectly contributes to carbon sequestration, critical for mitigating, well, we know what's causing climate change. The Nazis flying the planes around. So, you see, there's a whole universe that all works together, that works in perfection, and these idiot Nazis come along and pick one thing to change, and then you mess up the whole domino system. So these mycelium networks support biodiversity by fostering complex food webs. Fungi serve as food sources for, insects, small mammals, and other organisms. People are saying that the insects are disappearing. Now, I can tell you, and this may sound weird, but I haven't seen a flea. I have dogs, and all dogs get fleas. I haven't seen a flea since around, oh my God, I want to say 2014 or 15. Somewhere's in there. Because, yeah, I would treat my dogs, but still, And unlike these dumb, money-hungry vets will tell you year-round flea medication, that's just ludicrous. There's a flea, and I did have a vet years ago that told me that. Then he changes his story later when he turns into a blood-sucking, bloodsucker. But there's a flea season. It comes in around late August, September, October. There's no fleas the rest of the year. And, they occasionally one would hop on me, or I'd definitely see them on a dog, especially a dog that had an allergic reaction and lose her hair. And I haven't seen any. I mean, so it could be true. But then look at this, fungi serve as food sources for insects. They facilitate habitat creation by altering soil chemistry. And threats to mycelium networks. They face threats from human activities, deforestation and land use change. Clearing forests removes host plants essential for sustaining fungal populations. Soil disturbance from logging or agricultural damage delicate high-phase structures, reducing fungal biomass. Pollution. Chemical pollutants including pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, and excess nitrogen disrupt fungal growth or alter community composition negatively, affecting ecosystem functions. So that's that. And this is yeah, that's what they look like. And implications. Now this is effects of aluminum on plant growth and soil chemistry. Aluminum can have significant effects on plant growth and soil chemistry, particularly in acidic soils because they get absorbed. I guess it's soluble. They inhibit root growth, reducing plant productivity and affecting nutrient uptake. Alter soil chemistry, affecting the availability of nutrients and toxicity of metals. Affect the structure and function of microbial communities, influencing soil processes. Implications of aluminum pollution for environmental health. The implications of aluminum pollution for environmental health are significant, with potential impacts on ecosystems and human health. Aluminum pollution can result from various activities, dumping it from the sky. The effect of, it's bad enough everywhere else, and they want to come along and dump it intentionally. It's just insane. Okay. So, and then we go back to the top. That was just, and, so, okay, so we'll go to start going over the, photographs here. 2760, which I'm going to have to go, whoops. I'm sure I'm going to have to do part 2 for this. I'll start a couple here. Okay. Whoa. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and, I want to go ahead and cut this off here in case I go over. So I'm going to start the photos in part 2. Photos of the dead trees. Let's go ahead and get to 27. Whoa! 20... What did I pass that? 27... What did I say? 60? 27... There we go. Oh, this is just... I don't know why I took this picture here. 2761. Oh, sorry, 27:59. I'm going the wrong direction. We'll start this in part 2.